For any Ultimate Team coins, check out U7 Buy, link in the description down below. Use code Zayder at checkouts for 8% off if you're new, 5% off if you are returning. Alright, what is going on, guys? Welcome back to another video, and today, another episode of the RTG Foot Champs, my best ever run, ever in the history of Foot Champs. Here we go. We start off the video with a 81x25 pack. And it didn't go too well. We also started out with some player picks, some new stuff that came out today. This one was from yesterday, but we have a lot, and I mean a lot of gameplay today. So this is going to be a very long video. I'm going to be trying to not talk super fast and all that stuff. So make sure you get settled, relax, chill, get in a good spot, get in that little comfort spot you always like, get the pillows, all that good stuff, and just sit down because we're going to have a lot of gameplay and we have a lot to talk about. Because I want to say the first thing, man, I want to start off by saying thank you guys so much for all the love on the recent RTG content. Man, it's always been really fun, and now you guys are enjoying it more than you were like a couple weeks ago, so I do appreciate that tons, man. Thank you guys so much for coming back if you do come back video after video. But we have a lot of gameplay starting in about a minute from now, or I think 30 seconds. Oh, so first of all, basically, we got in from Luis Alberto from my second player pick that I did of the day, which was great, and I did another one. I was like, you know what? Let's see what we can get. Let's try our luck. And we opened one more player pick, and I ended up getting Sergio Aguero. And I was like, whoa, okay. These are kind of crazy. So I did three. I got Suarez in from Luis Alberto and Aguero. Crazy. Crazy. So I'm going to be spamming bronze packs, doing the bronze to gold upgrade method and all that stuff, and seeing what I can do. So also, shout out to the guy in the comment section who said you should put the record at the top right or just in the corner. That's exactly what I did. So the record will now be on the top right, game by game. And I think these games, or I don't think, I know, these games were Saturday morning at about, I think it was 7 a.m., 7:30, almost 8 a.m. after I came back from the gym. I woke up at 5 a.m., so I came back and I started playing some games, and I'm in my PJs because I got back in my PJs after I took a shower. But we were 5-1, if you guys remember, on my first RTG Foot Champs live video from, what was it, 2 days ago, or was it yesterday? Well, I think it was, yeah, yesterday. We went 4-1. We lost the game in a very unfortunate manner. If you guys want to check it out, man, it's in there. And I was just very upset that I did lose that game, and I was like, you know what, man, it's all good. We don't really usually go 5-0, but we want to start going 5-0, and I'm like, okay, let's rally back, let's get my head right, and let's not lose, let me not lose my mind, and let me just get back into it. So that's exactly what we did, and that's exactly how I approached every single game. I finally am starting to unlock the full potential of this team, and this is what I told you guys, man. I told you guys, if you guys go 2 weeks back to Foot Champs Live, to my RTG videos, if you go last week as well, I keep saying over and over, I am getting better with this team. I may not be good with this team right now. 2 weeks ago, man, I struggled to get gold 2. Last week, I was 12-10, and I finished 17-11. This week was a different story. This week, I turned up. This week, I showed up. This week, with almost no practice during the week, I finally figured out what this team is and how it can actually perform. And let me tell you guys, Ronaldo Sanchez, the real deal. Road to the final, Ronaldo Sanchez, one of the best midfielders in this entire game. There are very few players like him. For me, I wouldn't say there's anyone else like him, but I haven't really tried that many players, and I can't try more expensive players. So for me, he is my favorite, the best midfielder in this game. Now, there's one person that I've played with that can compare to him, and that is the guy on his left side, Cucurella. If you guys haven't done Future Stars Cucurella, you need to do Future Stars Cucurella right now. This is what I'm telling you. If you play 5-3-2, I hate you. That's first thing. But also, if you play 5-3-2, play him at left wing back, man. Play him at left wing back. Start in a 4-5-1. Do Yuri Berchiche at left back, and then do the left mid in Cucurella. And dude, the thing with Cucurella is he's not a all out winger, but at the same time, he's not he's a box-to-box midfielder that can play winger as well. So I put a shadow on him. I play him at left mid in a 4-4-2-2. I haven't done formation or a tactic video yet, but I will be doing one sometime this week because, man, I have found what has worked for me, and the balance in this team is just so nice, and it works so well. And for me, man, Cucurella and Ronaldo Sanchez are the two most important players in this entire team. I know I have my two strikers, which for me, man, I have finally learned how to play with them. I've learned how to like move with them and stuff like that. I think Ronaldo, Sanchez, and Cucurella are the reason why I did so well this weekend. And you guys are going to see me ranking win after win after win. I took a break. I kind of changed into some other stuff before the 6 p.m. content came out. And we come up against this team. Man, let me tell you guys this. Curtis Jones is in like everyone's team. I don't understand how. I don't know how it makes sense. I don't know. But he's in everyone's team. This Future Stars Curtis Jones is in everyone's team. The Foot Freeze Firmino is one of the best CDMs in this entire game, which is so annoying to play against. And let me tell you guys this as well. If you guys see me up there, I'm kind of like celebrating these goals because this guy, every time, okay, so let me tell you guys this as well. I keep saying, let me tell you guys this. Let me make this clear. As the games get more difficult, or as I win more games, my elo keeps going up, the games keep getting more difficult. So coming up against really good teams for like a decent opponent is already a hard game. Coming up against great teams with a good opponent is even more difficult. So it just keeps getting harder and harder and harder because higher elos have better teams or just better players in general. So for me, man, seeing a team like that in the beginning, for me is like, okay, I need to get my head in the right space, and I need to really play well here if I want to win this game and continue my win streak. This game was very difficult, by the way. I remember this guy, and one thing I started doing, man, because I was 9-1 here, so I was at 8 elo, meaning it's 5 elo either way, I believe it is, or up to plus 5 elo, not minus 5 elo. It's up to plus 5 elo, so you can play people. I don't know how you rewatch that, by the way. If you didn't watch that, rewatch that, skip back 10 videos, watch how that guy conceded that goal, because that is kind of crazy and honestly embarrassing to say that happened. But we went to penalties, and my penalties shootout this weekend has been incredible, and I think I kind of figured out how to win almost every single penalty shootout. But as I was saying, I can play at 8 elo. I can play people up to 5, so that's 8 plus 5, which is 13. So I can play people up to 13 elo. So that means people that are like 20 and 7 I can be playing against and stuff like that. So these are where the matches start getting more difficult, which is why I went to penalties, because this guy was a very good player. So as I said, let me keep saying what I was saying. 4-4-2, most balanced formation. Bruno and Ronaldo, very good CDM duo. I think for me, Bruno now is getting to the point where he is becoming a little bit, he's falling behind what Ronaldo can do. What Ronaldo can do, Bruno can almost do, because the thing is, Bruno doesn't really get involved in the attack for me that much. The only thing that Bruno provides for me is a good CDM with good passing, and Ronaldo kind of provides that, but a little bit less. So for me, if I can pick up like I'm not going to be able to, but I'm just saying, like, hypothetically, if I could pack, or if I can get an Icon SBC that's like a Patrick Vieira, Baby Blanc, SC and something like that, I would love to do that and put him right beside Ronaldo Sanchez, because I feel like Ronaldo Sanchez can do the Bruno role, and having a more defensive player next to Ronaldo Sanchez would lock up the defense. I need another center back as well. Kyle Walker, for me, let me down a couple times. But I figured a lot of stuff out. I figured that you don't touch your center backs. I've been saying this the past 2 weeks. Don't touch your center backs. Use your fullbacks. Use your CDMs. With Ronaldo Sanchez, I would literally select him, and I would sprint back. Sprint back, intercept, tackle, whatever, because he has like 90 million aggression, and I would win the ball back, and it would be great. I got a little bit lucky here on that goal, but I don't know how I conceded that penalty either. It was just a little bit weird, but it is what it is. I was playing some great FIFA, man, all weekend, and one thing I can wholeheartedly say is I don't think I played a single bad game this whole weekend. I feel like I really could have won almost every single game, except that I left like 2 games, which I got smacked, which I will take that on the chin. So those games were bad games, actually. Let me take that back. I played well in almost all of my games. I just made some poor decisions here and there, and I didn't get the luck that I needed to hopefully keep up with like my opponent. So for me, not getting that kind of luck and not having like a certain player here and maybe like me not playing or making that decision correctly kind of did cost me here and there, which is why I did take some losses. And I was 13-1 at this point. I was streaming. This was Saturday, and I was streaming in the afternoon, and this was a very difficult game on stream. I was down 2-0 and I had to kind of get back into it. Bruno does help me though, which is one thing that Bruno did provide, man. This was like the one game that I remember Bruno actually turning up and scoring a couple goals and proving why his POTM should be in the team, and he's still good. He's still good. I'm still going to keep him in there, but I'm just saying, like, I would love to try someone else out there to see how they do play in game and all that stuff. But I was 13-1. I go to another penalty shootout, and I'm like, okay, I need to keep my cool. I need to get in this guy's head. I need to kind of change up my penalty tactics. So what I've done is I used to aim bottom right and then go middle, because your player looks to the right and then shoots it to the middle. So the keeper thinks you're going to go that way. He usually goes there, which is exactly what happens. But I've changed it now. Someone in my chat told me this, and for some reason it kind of just stuck with me. Like, usually I don't think it would stick with me. If they just tell me something, I would just like brush it off or do it once and not really remember it, but it stuck with me. He said aim in the corner and shoot on the side of the foot. So the side that you finesse it on, the side that you open your body towards. So if you're right footed, you shoot to the right. If you're left footed, you shoot to the left. You aim towards the top left. And the reason why it works so many times is because the ball, like, someone like curves, it opens up. It's kind of like a finesse shot. Not only that, but if the keeper does dive that way, there's a very high chance to where he parries it like this, and the ball goes like this. So if the ball goes back like this, it will go into the top left corner, because if he dives from the middle of the thing, he's not going to make it all the way. He's not going to make it all the way. If he moves a little bit here and then dives, he'll block it 100%. But if he's in the middle, which is where most people stand, they stand in the middle and they choose a side. If he goes to the left like this, he's almost never going to make the save. So for me, that has worked very, very well. I come up against a fantastic team here. Zayder, Foot Freeze, Firmino, Curtis Jones, and I did lose this game. I did rage quit this game. I was 15-1, and I did lose. The reason why I rage quitted here was because I conceded some very, very dumb goals. I was supposed to win the ball back like 2-3 times there. I didn't win the ball back. It frustrated me. He was a very good player. I couldn't score. So I was like, you know what? I'm just going to move on and carry on with my day and keep the ball rolling and hopefully keep getting some wins. So I was 15-1 at my peak. 15-1 was where I felt confident. I was like, okay, all I have to do here is win 8 more games and I hit elite. That was my goal. 16-2. We come up against a good team. We beat him. Or very bad team, actually. This is the good team, though. Team with Mbappe and Neymar. Very good team. Rashford, Curtis Jones. Very good team. We concede. We go down 1-0 for 35 minutes, man. I was holding down that team with Mbappe, that Neymar. One thing that I can't stand about this game is those kind of goals where someone like Mbappe, someone like Neymar gets the ball with their back to the goal and they just scoop turn and finesse. I hate that kind of stuff because it's just so hard to prevent and so hard to stop, and it's really frustrating. It's just really frustrating in general, and for me, I couldn't handle it. I couldn't keep up with it, which is why I did lose. This was one of my favorite goals in the whole weekend. Look at how his Patrick Vieira absolutely gets destroyed here, man. I completely bamboozled him. I was so happy with that goal. I was 16-3 at this moment in time. I had to get one more win to get goal 2, which is kind of like my goal for the weekend, and I do show up, man. In the 86 minutes, I get my winning goal, 2-1 up, and I believe this guy that I did play, Sid L9L, was a top 700 player in, I don't know if it's America or the world. I think it's the world, because I don't think it's at his region, so it might be the world. It might be America. I'm not too sure, but if you go on Footways and you can look at the leaderboards, he was there, and he was like number 700th for the month of February. So he was a very, very, very good player. Not like top 200, not top 300, not top 500 level, but he was a very good player, and I was proud of beating him, man. 17-3, and he had like Patrick Vieira, he had Mbappe, he had like a very, very good team. So I was very happy winning that game, and we come up against like a team of the year, De Bruyne, we come up against Cancelo, we come up against another very good team, and I'm just thinking to myself, man, I'm playing fantastic FIFA. Let me just keep doing what I'm doing. I'm going to be in the game almost every single time. All I have to do is prevent the EA cheese, prevent the EA AIDS from going against me. That's all I have to do. I have to not manually defend. I have to like do everything in my power to try and get everything to go my way, and that's what I was trying. I come up against Eusebio once again. Curtis Jones, man, how many times have I seen Curtis Jones? We come up against flashback Cristiano Ronaldo, who is going to be haunting me for a very, very long time. We come up against João Felix and all that stuff, and I go up 1-0. I'm like, great, awesome, yes, let's go, let's get it, man. But then Eusebio had something to say, man. One thing I gotta say about Eusebio is Eusebio would be so crazy on this team because he is just a different player, man. I know I have R9, I know I have CR7. Neither of those guys, by the way, this guy had 26% possession and 1 shot on target there, which was kind of dumb, but whatever. The thing with Eusebio is that he's different, man. He's quick, he's small, he's fast, he hits the finesse shots, he finishes everything. I just don't have that kind of player, man. I don't. Eto is somewhat that player, but he's nowhere near. This guy had Son on, what is that, like 2 chemistry? I'm not sure how he got that to work. I don't know why he did that, but he did that. And I come up against his team, and I'm like, okay, I should be fine. Doesn't really look that great. And I go into this game, man, and I shouldn't have gone into this game. This guy was a good player, but this game was at around 11 p.m., right? And this was the day that I had woken up at 5 a.m. and I was playing at 11 p.m. and I was tired. My eyes were done, and at the end I regretted it because he beat me fair and square, but at the same time I was feeling tired. Like, I was like, why did I go into this game, right? But now I'm gonna go live with you guys to talk about where I finished, because right now, as you saw, I was 18-5. So I played all my games on stream. If you guys haven't came to check me out yet, link in the description down below. But yeah, let's go live and see what I have to say. Okay, so just a quick recap of the squad. This is how the squad lined up, and these are the stats. So Eto had those stats, nothing very good, man. I want to really get rid of him, but I just don't see anyone apart from João Felix that I can put up there. So we'll see kind of what happens to him. Ronaldo Sanchez had 1 goal, 5 assists, and that 1 goal was very crucial. So he came up very clutch when he needed to. These were the stats for Cristiano Ronaldo. I'm still trying to kind of catch up to the game goal ratio, but hopefully we can get that a little figured out once we get into playing more games with him. We have 133 games, 141, and 64 assists for R9. A very solid return. Still not where I wanted to be. I think I still want a little bit more, but that's not bad at all. And then I had Mbappe and Messi on the bench just in case. But usually my bench ended up looking somewhat like that, and most of the time I didn't even have João Felix. I had like a bronze here. So this is how the team lined up, and this is where we finished. Where did we finish? We finished in gold 1 with 22 wins, and I'm gonna roll the clip right now on the screen of what I lost to. Flashback Cristiano Ronaldo wins the header against 92 gold Ronaldo. And while I think the guy that I did lose to in the last game, because it came down to the last game, he was a good player, he deserved the win, sort of. I wasn't good enough in that game to the point where I couldn't score on him, so props to him for being good at defending. But I feel like I just feel like I deserved more from that last game, and I really felt confident that I could have been able to win it. But obviously in 90 minutes, if I couldn't score, if I couldn't really create that many chances, I guess I just didn't deserve. And this is the team I played against in the second to last game. So to get to this point, I was 15-1 and I finished 22-8, meaning in my last 14 games I went 17-7. In my first 16 I went 15-1. And I was just thinking to myself, man, if I had one elite center back next to Varane, I think we would be set. If I had someone a little bit better than Bruno, maybe a little bit more defensive than Bruno in a 4-4-2, I think we'd be a little bit better off as well. But overall, man, this team is incredible. I'm really enjoying it. Like, the few players that I want to replace, how I said, is Kyle Walker and Eto. I think those are the 2 guys that I really want to take out of this team as soon as I can. But just overall, considering last week I finished gold 2, the week before that I finished gold 2 as well, but I wasn't really playing well. Like how I said in the video, I went from 12-10 to 17 and 11, which is not good. So in conclusion, man, this was indeed my best ever weekend league. This was my best weekend league run ever. 15 and 1 is something that I don't know if I'll be able to do again, but for sure I'm going to be trying now from every week that I know for me it is possible for me to do very, very well while playing this game. I'm just going to try and do that every single weekend. Obviously I didn't finish where I wanted to finish because Elite 3 for me is the dream. I've never finished Elite 3, but now I feel like it's super close, man. I just need to keep getting a little bit better, upgrade the team, kind of mess with it a little bit and replace some stuff, but it's literally just here. That is going to be my weekend league run for this weekend, guys. I hope you guys did enjoy this video. Drop a like, comment, and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, guys. Thank you guys so much for watching this, a very, very long video with a very unfortunate ending. Hopefully next weekend I can come back and we can reach the promised land. I'll see you guys next video. Have a nice day, and I'm out.